Hello, I'm Adele. I'm one of the librarians at the Wilmington campus, and today I'm going to show you how to use some of the databases that we have to find credible scholarly information that you would be able to use for your English 101 assignment. You can see on the screen that we are on the Deltec page, and we're on the welcome page. You want to click over to the right where it says resources, and if you scroll down a little bit and pay attention to the left-hand side, under Deltec Libraries, it lists the databases that we would want to have access to. The three main ones that we're going to look at today are Credo Reference. The second one is the SIRS database, and then the third one we're going to look at is EBSCOhost. So let's get into Credo. And Credo is a great database, as you can see on the screen, for giving you background information. If you're not quite sure of your topic, this is a good place to get oriented with learning search terms, or if you're having trouble coming up with a topic, you can always look here based on what you're interested in and, use one of these topics that they are suggesting. But because you already have topics, we're just going to do a keyword search in the search bar under where it says background information. And for the Credo database, we are going to be searching information about paternity leave. So once I start typing in paternity leave, if you can take a look at the screen, it says it's suggesting paternity leave. Now we are using the term parental leave because it's not just, but we can click on that and it will give us information about both. Once I click on that, I come up with my search results and I have 1,502 results on my keyword search of either paternity leave or parental leave. The first one that comes up is from the Wiley-Blackwell Encyclopedia of Family Studies. And when I click on the hyperlink, which is in purple, it will take me to the actual abstract and the actual article that appeared in this encyclopedia. And it gives you a great overview. You're looking at the first part of it too. It's suggesting that it was first initiated in Europe and helping fathers achieve a balance between work and family. So possibly some information from this article would be useful in what you were writing in your essay. So it's not overwhelming. And you can see when we get towards the end of the article, it also gives you other keywords that you might want to use for future searches, such as fathering styles in the United States, father role, fathers as caregivers. So that's kind of another term you could use instead of using paternity leave. But that's always very helpful to pay attention to other keywords so you can broaden your searches. Taking us back up to the top of the page, when we're in the full text of the article, across the right side of the page, you can click on the link for the citation. And once you click on that, make sure it defaults to APA. This is the citation. And as with any database that we search, you always want to make sure that the citation is correct because these are computer generated, but it gives you a great start on how to cite, including how to have the HTTP, the website for Credo through this. And without having to type it, it's nice that you have access to that. The main thing on this page too, after you look at the citation, is that you want to share it, which allows you to email it to yourself. And then you would want to just click on the email icon, which it defaults to. You want the full text of the article, put your information in, your name, your email address, and hit go, and that will email your Deltec account this article. So that's one of the databases that we have access to. I'm going to get us back on our Deltec page. And the other database that we're going to look at now, we're going to jump down to SIRS, S-I-R-S. And SIRS is a great database for exploring pro-con topics. And for this one, I'm going to do it, search the other topic you had to do, which was living together before marriage. So click on this where it says search SIRS. Okay, enter. So when I search those keywords, it brings up 2,800 results. And in previous classes, I've had students say, well, that's a lot of results to go through, but there's ways that you can narrow this down and not have to look at so many. You can narrow it down by looking at publication date. So if I want something like, I can do a custom range, I want something within the last 5 years, I can do it that way. So we can do, that's a way to narrow it down. You can also narrow it down to source type. If you want to look at newspapers or web resources, government, you can narrow it down that way as well. But let's take a look at some of these. So the first one that came up based on relevance is move-in before marriage no longer predicts divorce. That's from 2012. The one underneath is best predictor of divorce. That's the title of the article, is the age when couples cohabit. So I'm actually looking at that one. I'm learning, instead of using the term living together, another way you could search this topic is cohabit or cohabitation. So play with your keywords, learn different words for the same thing, and you'll broaden your searches as well. And let's take a look at that one. The best predictor of divorce, if that's the part of the argument that you wanted to work on. Once we're in the article, it gives a summary of it. This is the article as it appeared in the Christian Science Monitor. You can, on how to use the document, you can save it to the cloud, links to how to cite it. You just want to make sure it defaults. When you click on that citation link, it defaults to MLA. Just change it to, they're still showing APA 6, so just verify that that's correct. But it's, like I said before, it's a good start to getting the citation done. And when you email it to yourself, you can email it, and as well as email the citation to you as well, or cut and paste the citation into a document. So this is the other database we have. Another thing to look at too on the SIRS database is they give you related topics to what you were searching. So you have other places to look for this information. This one from 2019, let's see, add divorce to the list of things millennials are killing. So that might be actually showing the other viewpoint. That's from 2018, that millennials are not divorcing. You can see if there's anything in here about cohabitation or living together. That's, something that you can skim through and look for. So that is the SIRS database. And the third database